we will see. Hey everyone, you guys there? I don't even know. Um, Listen, we're gonna give this a shot tonight. Okay, it's Friday. It's actually not night. It is afternoon your time, but we're 7 hours ahead over here in Greece. All right, so we're gonna give this a shot. There's probably not gonna be a lot of you out there, but we will see anyways. And worst case scenario, you watch this later at 8:30. Now, let me know how the audio sounds. Make sure that I sound okay. The video quality is probably not going to be great. I'm going to tell you about that, actually, about Starlink on this ship. I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute when we get some people on here. Because honestly, doing SpaceX Starlink for as long as I have, and knowing that this cruise line is using many SpaceX Starlink dish to gather a ton of bandwidth and paying about 500 and some dollars. I think the original price was like 599, I think it was, for the top tier internet plan. We are throttled at 1 megabit up. One. It will like bounce up to like 4 or 5 megabits and then drop right back to 1 megabit up. So obviously, the quality is not going to be great, but it kind of is what it is. I hope that you can see me at least. Let me know. Let's see. Richard says, sounds good. I appreciate that. Who else do we got here? City Twisters in the house. Honey Badger's here. Thomas is here. You can hear me good. That's good. That's good. At least the audio is working. This is what we're using for audio. All right. There you go. Normally we'll have like a shotgun mic, like this Sennheiser like 416, and instead we have this. But hopefully it sounds decent, and that's what we're going to use. I've been using on the entire trip for doing the videos these little DJIs. People have been asking me about like what I've been using. They're like these little small DJIs that clip on, and the mics are really pretty good. I'm amazed by them, really amazed. Anyways, let's see who else is here. Once again, bear with me if it doesn't look fabulous. It kind of is what it is. We are literally broadcasting at like 1 megabit. That is it. Like I said, I'll get into that whole SpaceX Starlink thing in the cruise ships before the end of the live. So let's see once again. If you have any questions, put in at JCristina. Fabiola is back here also. You can see I have like red drapery. Did you hear her? She's back over here. There's only room for my big ass head, and that's it. Okay, I couldn't.
He won't let me sleep.
And she's sleeping. She's not really sleeping. It's a bunch of nonsense. So it's 11 o'clock over here in Greece right now.
It's midnight.
It's not almost midnight. It's 11:05.
No,
Yeah. So if there's room service,
it's
then
12:05.
it is not 12. Is it 12:05?
Yeah, time change,
Oh
I think.
shit. It's 12:05. I thought it was 11:05. I didn't change the time on the laptop. Anyway, so if someone starts knocking at the door and I have to pull this open, it might be like our guy here to go and deliver some food. I don't know, but
I didn't
what
order
did, you
anything.
didn't order anything?
Joe,
Oh,
you were supposed to do it. I'm not gonna do it.
okay. Shannon is in the house.
Hey, Shannon, you're holding up the fort. Where's Mo?
Where's Mo?
Where's Peter?
Let me see. Shannon says, "A big fat Greek super chat." Thank you so much, Shannon. Really appreciate that. Do you see what we're doing here, Shannon? Do you see what we're doing? Um, so just so you guys know, Shannon was nice enough to offer his SpaceX Starlink Mini that I can take with me on this trip because I knew I was going to be gone for like 2, 3 weeks, and I said, when we get off the ship or on, if we have a balcony, we can kind of put it on the balcony and get. And we know that these cruise lines, they don't like that kind of shit, right? Because they want to sell you the service. Well, they basically said, if you bring the SpaceX Starlink deal, we're going to go ahead and confiscate that from you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So yeah, so that was not a thing. So I couldn't do it. Anyways, thank you, Shannon, for offering that, but we couldn't do it. Sadly, sadly. So we ended up getting this nice package, this SpaceX Starlink package. And yeah, we're getting throttled at 1 megabit per second upload speed. And this is for like $600 for the course of, what is it, 10-day cruise, Fab? What is
Yeah.
it, 10 day? Yeah. So 10 days, it's $600 for the most shitty connection possible. It's really sad. And I'll probably, when I get back into the States, I'll probably do a video on this specific cruise line and break down all of the shortcomings because I think that it's needed because it is such shites. Okay, I'm not going to do it now while we're out here at sea. They might throw me overboard or something, but it's really that bad. So it kind of is what it is. We are having a good time. We've went to what, Rome so far. Then when we went from Rome to where? Fab, don't fall asleep on me. I'm asking you a damn question. We went from Rome to what? Oh my God, are you all right?
I can't
Anyways,
remember.
we ended up.
Just to be
Yes, so we went from Rome to Athens, and then after Athens, we went to
Mykonos.
Mykonos. Mykonos, I actually like Mykonos was really, really nice. Um, and then today, where were we? Today we were in Santorini, and then tomorrow, I don't know where we're going to be. So the ship is taking us there right now, wherever that is. So it's been a lot of fun. It has absolutely been a lot of fun. It's been very hot. You can see me on the red background. I'm burnt to a crisp, as I should be, and that's with sun lotion on, suntan lotion. It doesn't make a difference. Let me see who else is in the house here. We got once again Richard Twisted, City Twister HD. Thomas is in the house. Honey Badger, Fragile is here. How you doing, Fragile? Our GSD Rules is here. Shannon, of course, is in the house. If you guys have, here's Matt is also. If you guys have any questions, put at JCristina. Any questions that you have, doesn't matter what it is, at JCristina. They'll pop up here a lot quicker, and I'll be able to see it. Doug, how you doing? Appreciate you being here. And no one is here. Gotta love that name. No one. Thank you for being here. So I figure it's really early over there in the States, so I know there's not going to be a lot of you guys on tonight, but that's okay. They can watch it if they want, later on. They can watch like the rerun, so to speak. So there was a lot of stuff going on while we've been here. And I'm trying to cover as much as I can of it. There's a lot of like interesting things. Today I did a piece, I think it was, or yesterday it went live. Maybe today. I don't even know. Every day runs into each other. And I talked about the debris fallout from these SpaceX starships constantly blowing up. IFT-7 blew up, IFT-8, IFT-9 just blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up. And now, of course, we've seen Starship 36 that blew up on the ground. So it's just been a hot mess for quite some time. I know there's a lot of you guys out there that have been emailing me with the should we even say conspiracy theory? I guess so. I guess we can. That there's someone inside that is kind of doing certain mischievous things, right? Nefarious things. And who knows? Who knows? Anything is possible. There is, you know, Elon Musk is very polarizing. All right, so you have the folks that absolutely love him, and then you have the folks that absolutely hate him. And what I always find really interesting is the people that absolutely loved him just a couple of years ago just hate him now. It's just crazy. They bought their Tesla cars and they're just buzzing around with the little Tesla cars, and they're green, right? Because of course Elon is green, and they're saving the damn planet and all kinds of other crazy ass shit. And now all of a sudden he's like Satan's spawn. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know how that even works. But that's how it works. Some people, they just, they're fickle. I guess that's the word. That is exactly the word. Fabs, is that the word? She's dead over there. I don't even know. She's not even listening anymore. I don't even know.
I hear you.
So you don't hear nothing. So, but yeah, they're just very fickle. I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. But the piece that I talked about today or yesterday, um, there was a lot of debris that was found that was just washed up in the Mexican shore. Obviously, there was also a ton of other debris in the, what is it, IFT 7, IFT 8 over the Turks and Caicos Islands, and now the now the Mexican government is considering suing SpaceX for um, uh, destroying their I don't know, their coastline or some stupid ass shit like that. And what's really funny about that is many of you guys have wrote into the show and said, I don't know what they're talking about in Mexico because for years and years and years they've been letting loose raw sewage and having beaches in California shut down because of all of the mass amounts of crap, raw crap that's rolling into California. So maybe California should do the same thing and sue Mexico for all of the closures of those beaches. I mean, I don't know, but this is what happens. They see like a little blood in the water, or maybe a little, I don't know, plastic or whatever, and it says SpaceX on it. Now they want to sue. So who knows? Maybe they will sue. And I'm sure Elon will care less one way or another. I did find out that he immediately puts people on the ground as soon as one of these blow up to start cleaning. And the last one, the one in the Turks and Caicos, they even did like an analysis of any contaminants, and there was nothing. They cleaned everything. So of course now they have to clean completely clean this one too, but it's not done as of yet. So anyway, so that's one that I worked on while being here. I also talked about the Golden Dome. That is basically a cash cow for Elon Musk. The Golden Dome is basically the equivalent to Israel's um, Iron Dome, right? Same thing, basically, same thing. Similar. It's not that I shouldn't say it's the same thing. It's not the same thing, but it's based on that same type of premise where you are destroying missiles as they're coming in before they end up landing, right? You're destroying missiles in midair. The difference between this Golden Dome thing here, and what I thought was really fascinating is that there's going to be satellites between 10 and 16,000 of these satellites, these interceptor satellites that are going to be on orbit. And they'll most likely be government satellites. They'll probably be with the Starshield, just like SpaceX Starlink, but Starshield is their version of it that Elon has come up with that basically sold it to the government. And once again, there'll be 10,000 to 16,000 of these interceptors. But before those interceptors are injected, let's say, into the atmosphere, into, let's say, 320 kilometers in space, right? Before they're placed there, they're going to place a whole series of what they call bodyguards. And this is what's the coolest shit here. These bodyguards will then sit and monitor everything around those satellites. So there might be one bodyguard to maybe 10 satellites or something, and they will monitor them. And if one of the Russian or one of the Chinese satellites decide to do one of their pull ups, because that's what they've been working on for the last like year or two, the Chinese will actually pull up next to another satellite and either dismantle it or disable it or do some crazy ass shit to it and then pull off. So they've been working on this for quite some time. And matter of fact, just last week, I heard of one Chinese satellite pulling up behind, and I'm not sure what country it is, another satellite, and it's kind of chasing it down as we speak. It takes a little while for them to rendezvous, but once that happens, who knows what's going to, what are they going to do to the satellite? So, what these bodyguard satellites are going to be able to do is they're going to be able to kind of nudge a satellite out of the way, or let's just say push them back into the atmosphere and let them burn up, or do other things that are more, let's say, I don't want to say destructive, but yeah, kind of. Let's call it kinetic. Okay, they'll be able to do some kinetic things to these satellites that kind of pull up and try hindering our interceptors. Now, those interceptor satellites I was reading, which I think is fascinating, they will literally have kinetic means to take out missiles once they're launched, and either through like metal rods or other means that they'll actually launch at these rockets, or they're going to use either lasers or RF, like radio frequency microwaves or something, and basically destroy those missiles like that. And the whole idea here is they want to destroy those missiles when they are just launched before they separate, before that ordnance, let's say, that top piece, that cone separates, either dummies that separate or maybe just a warhead that separates, like an ICBM or an intercontinental ballistic missile. They want to hit those before they get out of the atmosphere, before they get anywhere, right? And they do separate. So this is what the goal is. So it's a little bit different than what the Iron Dome does, right? It's actually a lot different. So, but it's on the same type of, idea, let's say, a defense. I remember Reagan talked about what was it, Star Wars or something. It's a similar type of thing as Star Wars that Reagan was talking about in the 80s. Now they're doing it now. Um, it's supposed to cost like 175,000, I think it's 175,000, no, 175 billion for the beginnings, right, which would be like the bodyguards and all this stuff, and then it's going to be over time anywhere from 500 to $1 trillion, 500 billion to $1 trillion for it, which to me is just, I mean, some of you guys say, oh, it's wasteful. And then other people are like, bring it on. We need it because we know how crazy the world is right now. And, a good defense is as good as a good offense. A lot of people say, offense is very, very important. It is. But if you have an amazing defense that the other countries know nothing is going to get in, they're not going to bother launching, because at that point you're going to knock them out of the air, and now you're going to do something kinetic to them that they're not going to like, and they're not going to be able to defend against, right? So a good defense is not bad. Anyways, before I go on to any of the other ones that I've covered, let me see who else is here. Let's see, Shannon. Let me go down here. Who else we got here? We have Vince T. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Let's see. Demetrius here, I believe. Is that right? I can't see very well. It's dark as hell in here. Who else? Riley McLeaf Binder. Let's see. Ricklin, I guess. Ricklin is here. Honey Badger. Holy crap, Honey Badger. That is amazing. Look at that massive super chat. Holy crap. Say hi to Fab and take her out for a nice champagne brunch while you're there. Did you hear that, Fabiola? Did you hear that? Quiet. She's like dead over there. I don't know. Honey Badger, I will tell her first thing in the morning. She already reminded me that my my clock is actually wrong on the computer. I thought that it's 11:30, but it is 12:30, and she has to work tomorrow. So thank you so much, Honey Badger. That is really sweet. I really, really, really appreciate that. And I will do that. I will do that. Let me see here. Let me see. Also, if you have any questions, put at JCristina. If there's any issues with audio, let me know. Honey Badger says audio is fine up here. Your background is questionable. Yes, it is. This is just like we're in this little room, and this is just like this drapery thing that pulls across. On the other side is like the bathroom. I don't know. This is the way it is. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of shooting this way like we always do, I'm just going to shoot into a drape, and there you go. I figured there's going to be less data than it trying to capture everything, because we're on that 1 megabit from SpaceX Starlink on this damn cruise. 1 megabit. That's what we are throttled to. I'm going to get into it in just a minute. I'm going to get into it. Richard says, you look good. Okay, you look good. A little red. I am red. Look at this. I am burnt. My forehead is like red. I am jacked up. It's been so freaking hot. Let me tell you, when we were in Mykonos, Greece, I absolutely loved it. Mykonos is beautiful. Um, Santorini, it was nice. It was really nice. It is volcanic, so there's no beaches really. I mean, there's like one, like you. Anyways, it is really, really beautiful. But Mykonos is my favorite so far. We went to Athens already. We were in Rome. You know, being Sicilian and German, my father is Sicilian, literally like 98% Sicilian. And so I've had meatballs all of my life, right? He makes homemade meatballs. And when I had the meatballs in Rome, I swear to God, I would take these friggin' meatballs and I'd bang them up against a wall. They were just they were like literally boiled meat with sauce on them. I don't know what the frick. I don't know. And we did a little bit of research on it, and it seems like the meatballs there, that's the way they do it, right? I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, those meatballs, no good. The meatballs that we had later in Athens, Greece, which was really quite beautiful, were much better. So I don't know. I guess my dad's meatballs from Sicily are more similar to Greek meatballs than they are to Italian meatballs. Just, I don't know. So there's a whole story in that, and I don't know. We'll get into that maybe maybe later on. Anyways, so moving on here. Vince says, can see you and the audio is good. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think I'm broadcasting at 720p. Normally we're at like either 1080 or 4K, but I know with 1 megabit upload speed, if I do anything more, it's just going to just take a big dump. I'd rather have it work than than it doesn't look great, then it just doesn't work at all. Let's see, 1600 there, Rich. Yeah, so you're at 4 o'clock. Yeah, over here is good. It is 12:30 a.m. On the 28th, I guess it is here in just outside of Santorini, Greece, in the islands. Let me see. We got a holy crap here. Sounds like. Let's see. Moving down. Um, yeah. Our GSD rule says, "Where's Fab?" So I couldn't put her in the frame because it's so damn. It's like there's literally no room. That's number one. There's not even another chair. We'd be like, I don't know, kneeling or something. And then number two, over here, once again, it's like a past midnight and she has to work in the morning. So she was here like a few minutes ago. Now I'm talking and she is she's gone. She's gone. She said she was going to be around for a little bit, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's so damn hot. You just get tired really quick. But I'm like, we were there. Um, so it was quite interesting. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of history there. The Colosseum. There was just a lot of cool things we saw. But it just it felt very much so like Miami kind of thing, where it's like big city. The thing that really kind of didn't sit well with me in Rome is that there was graffiti everywhere. And you might see like an ancient stone pillar that's been there for 1,000 years, right? And there's graffiti written on it. Like, who would do that? I would like, I would. I absolutely would. You just, you deface something like that that has been around for so long, literally through wars, through just every and you go and spray paint it. I mean, just stop already. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that was the one thing that just didn't sit well with me in Rome for sure. Let me see. Richland says, we are in. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, in Greece. In Greece too, about 30 kilometers south. All right. Okay. All right. Well, see, we got some people here in Greece. Tomorrow we're going to be stopping somewhere else. I'm not sure where we're going to stop as of yet, but I will let you know tomorrow. Let's see. I read that Russia made. This is from Mick. I read that Russia made maneuvers on Starshield satellites, and SpaceX was ready for it. That's probably the case. The Chinese have been doing this already. a few times. Let me see. In the article, it said that Russia was not prepared for that. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of these. So, what's happening is you got Russia and you have China. They're trying to maneuver, they're trying to figure out how they can not lose their current power, balancing of power, let's say. And the only way to do that, like for example, if we eventually have the Golden Dome, the only way to do it is to somehow hinder or destroy some of those 10 to 16,000 interceptor satellites. What ends up happening is when you have so many, it's hard to stop it. It's like a mesh network, right, guys? So if you have, let's say, one router in your house and the router goes bad, there's a problem, right? Or maybe you have one router in your house and you go all the way to the far outskirts of the house and you don't have any signal, or the signal is degraded, it's really slow, right? But if you go and put two routers, now it's going to get better. If you put 5 or 6 routers, okay, it's going to be strong no matter where you are in the house, even if it's a big house. And the thing is if you take one router, you shut it off, you unplug it, throw it in the garbage, it doesn't matter. It's a healing network. That's what a mesh network is all about. It heals. It knows that one router is dead, and then it just switches and says, okay, that router is no longer in use. We will only use the ones that are working. So now we're only going to use 5. The same thing holds true with SpaceX Starlink and their mesh network. Their mesh network works the same way. If one of the satellite goes down, it's like, okay, no problem. We'll just take it out of the loop. And when it comes back online and starts pinging again, right? It starts pinging, we'll say, okay, we're going to put it back into the loop. Same type of thing. So that's why, like, with China and Russia, once there's a certain number of satellites on orbit, it becomes impossible to hurt the entire healing network, because it will once again just constantly heal itself. So, anyways, that's just my thoughts on it. But they have to do it one way or another. They have to do it. Um, let's see. Moving down. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. At JCristina. It makes it a lot easier for me to find the questions. But yeah, that's true, Mick. They're trying their best. They don't know exactly what to do as of right now. So, is what it is. Our GSD rule says next time put the mini in your laptop bag and pass it through. I was thinking about that. I just didn't want, like I said, Shannon was nice enough to offer us the mini to take with us. I didn't want it to go and get confiscated or something was to happen with it and it wasn't mine, it was Shannon's. I didn't want that to happen, number one. And number two, if I get on the ship and now they do confiscate it and don't give it back to me for, 10 days or whatever, at that point, there's no reason for me to lug the damn thing because I can't use it. The other problem is that we originally were bidding, and that's another freaking problem with this place, is we were bidding for a balcony because at the time they didn't have any balcony, just the inner rooms. Well, we put a bid in there, whatever, 5, 6, whatever, some crazy number, and we didn't get it. So we are in an inner room, so we can't actually get to a balcony to use the mini anyways. So, long story short, we ended up spending the $600 on the high speed. They call it, I don't know, ultimate something, some BS, but it's not ultimate nothing because it literally throttles you, SpaceX Starlink, with 1 megabit per second. Right now, according to OBS, I'm getting 1.2 megabits per second. That's it. Not a penny more. That's what you get for $600 for 10 days. Really sad. Really, really damn sad. Pretty bad. Um, let's see. I think they are called Rogue Waves. Okay, the big waves. That's from GSD Rules. Let's see. Aloha, everyone. That's from George. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Let's see. George says, sorry, I'm late. How was Athens? Athens was beautiful. Really, really enjoyed Athens. It was hot as damn hell. It was probably like 96, 98 degrees, just burning. Look at me. I'm like, I look like a damn lobster. And I had like sunscreen. It didn't matter. It was so freaking hot. And it was, to me, I think it's strange coming from a tropical environment. Whereas, in a tropical environment like Florida or the Bahamas or Bermuda or anything near us, Puerto Rico, wherever, there's a certain heat to it, right? It's humid and it's hot as hell and you're sweating and it's sticky, but like it feels like the heat that we were getting in Athens was like a damn desert heat. Everything is brown. There's not a tree like in sight. They're like brush. That's it. It's like Arizona or something. It is really, really super hot, but it was a lot of fun. We did enjoy it, and we went up and saw all of the sights. Let's say that we can see. It was a lot of fun. So the food was good. I mean, like I said at the beginning of this live, I really enjoyed the food, the Greek food, much better than the food that we had in Rome. So, but that's also Rome, the city, just out of the Vatican. We were in the Vatican for a bit. We're literally a stone's throw away from the Vatican. So it was it was nice to be able to see everything, where things happen and how they happen, kind of thing. But I don't know if how many of you guys have been to the Vatican. I was raised in Catholicism, right? I was raised Catholic, so I have a certain um, expectation of the Vatican, let's say, of what I've seen on TV when all the different popes are, anyways. Um, Going there, no, no. I mean, no. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there was like a Hard Rock in the Vatican. There was like, there was a lot of stores selling tchotchkes, like the outskirts of Disney World or Disneyland. And this was like literally in the Vatican Square. I mean, I'm like, it just, for me, I was expecting something a lot more than what I got. That's just me. So, to each his own. Is it something that I would say to go see in your lifetime? Absolutely. Go and go see. But for me, it just wasn't as big of a thing as I thought it would be. I don't know if it comes across correctly, but it is what it is. But it was definitely nice to see. And uh, taxis and everything are just crazy over there. It's just difficult. It's absolutely difficult, and that's because it's almost like Miami. It's just so just inundated. And when we were there, um, it's when there was helicopters flying overhead. There was like matter of fact, in one of my videos I ran, you were able to see this mass protest which sounded like gunfire, and all of the flags and the smoke and all the rest of the stuff that was going on, anti-Israel stuff, Palestinian stuff. And it was just really, there was originally it started out with cops with guns and tasers type of thing, to all of a sudden cops with AKs. And that feels very much so like Israel, right? In comparison to what I would expect in Rome. But I don't know, I don't know. But that's the way it was. So what we see is happening throughout the entire globe, because everywhere we go there seems to be some type of protest or unrest or people pissed about something. I don't even know. I don't know. People, people need to get jobs. I've always said this: if you have time to write on a piece of paper, on a piece of cardboard, and hold it up in the middle of the day to protest something or whatever, you need a job. You need to do something with yourself, because you are missing something. There's like something is not working, because like I can't do that, right? I work, I got stuff to do. I got people to see, shit to I can't stand on the street and go and walk march up and down, doing I don't know. I don't know. I just the mindset, I don't see it, but who am I? So, anyways, but yeah, thank you for asking. Athens was really quite nice. It was quite nice. Let's see here. Moving down here, let's see. Who else do we have here? Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. This way it pops up really quickly and I can see it. Um, and if anyone's new here, this is not normal. I normally do not have like red sheet. I don't know what this is. I feel like Johnny Carson or something, right? Like this red thing behind me. Normally we're not. We're on a cruise right now. If you guys don't, whoever's new and you don't know, we're on a cruise, and we'll be back in probably like a week or so, and then everything will get back to normal, and we'll start, But I've been trying to put out as much content as I can from the cruise, but understand that the content that I'm putting out, I'm having to degrade the quality down a lot because I have 1 megabit upload speed to be able to do it. So normally my videos are, let's say, 2, 3 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes. I'm literally just crushing them to about 400 megabytes. And that takes hours to upload. So that's why instead of seeing my videos normally at like 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, right? You're seeing sometimes at like 9 o'clock at night because the damn thing takes damn forever to upload. I'm bitching again with this damn internet. Oh, shit. Um, let's see. Matt says, would it be cheaper if you flew to all of the places you went instead of the cruise? Um, maybe, maybe. Um, I would say no. I would say no. And the reason being is flights are so expensive right now. And if you're going to do like a Mediterranean type of thing and you're going to go to like 4, 5 Greek islands and you're going to go to Rome and we are going to stop in Sicily, which would be really cool to see. So to do all of that, you just, it's just, the cruise is a really good way to go. Um, but this one, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It could definitely be better. I've definitely been on much better cruises than this one. But like I said, what I'm going to do is when it's all over and I'm back in the studio, um, I don't want them to have me walk the plank in the middle of the night. But when I do get back, I'm going to go through a line by line of the shites that this cruise has provided. Let's just say there's just a lot of things that the other many cruises that we've been on over the past just were so much better, and I want to give you guys a reason behind it, and maybe just by giving you this information, maybe you won't take this one specifically because I wouldn't suggest it. So, but we'll get into that once again once I get back. Let's see. Mo is in the house. How you doing, Mo? Thank you for being here. Fabiola was asking for you before she conked out over there. Right now, my time is almost 1 a.m. I think it's like 20 to 1 because I'm like 7 hours ahead of everyone on the East Coast where I'm normally broadcasting from. So yes, how you doing, Mo? Thank you for being here. He's saying, hey everybody, Friday evening. Is it Friday evening? It's probably like Friday afternoon over there. I wouldn't doubt. Let's see. The host of No Pants Profits channel has a couple of videos using Starlink minis on Carnival that was confiscated. Yeah, that's probably right, Mick. That's probably right. They, if they see you using a Starlink mini on these cruise lines, they confiscate them. They take them, and then my understanding is they don't give it back to you until you get off the ship. You know, it I understand it because they need to make their money. Okay, I get it. But this is the big but. I do I do get it, and I do relate it to like a bottle fee. So if you go to, let's say, a very upscale, let's say, restaurant that offers really nice wines, and you want to bring in, maybe a 50-year-old wine or something, still dusty, that cost you 5 grand. Well, what they'll do is they'll charge you a bottle fee, right? It's maybe $100. So you give them $100, and then you can bring in your bottle of wine. So it's the same kind of thing here, okay? But over here, instead of them charging you to use your SpaceX Starlink, they force you to use their SpaceX Starlink. The problem is they're charging $600 for a service that is not that should be free, because the SpaceX Starlink that they're providing us for $600 for the 10 days is 1 megabit throttled upload speed. 1 megabit. That is not $600. That's free. Those are free numbers. And that is the highest tier that you can buy. I bought the most expensive one. There's actually lower ones. Holy shit. There's this one's called the Streaming Ultra something bullshit package. Before that, it's the non-streaming package. I don't know what the frick. What are you going to do with it? I don't even know. But it is so damn slow and so damn crap that many times things don't even work. Like when I started this feed, it wouldn't even connect, and then finally all of a sudden it connected, and now it's staying connected, thank God. But it's just that bad. It's just bad, bad, bad. It should be illegal, you know. It should be illegal to offer a service that's such shit. I mean, I don't even know how else to say it. This is Free Speech Friday, right? It is. So yeah, I don't know how that it's legal. You know how you can do it. I mean, I guess if they just tell you how it is. I mean, and the thing is you don't have an option. So it's like you know bringing someone to a desert and saying, "I have a bottle of water for you, but that bottle of water is at $1,000." It's basically what they're doing. They're taking you in the middle of the ocean, and if you do not buy their service, you do not have any accessibility to anyone or anything. And as of today, internet is everything, right? There's people that won't buy homes in certain areas unless that area has fiber. If that area doesn't have fiber, they won't even buy the home. Let's say they have cable, or even worse, they have like AT&T, or they have some type of UVerse or DSL. Nixed. They don't want to see it. So, it's just it's sad in my personal opinion. But they do shitty things, and that's it. And that's some of the things that I'm going to talk about in video once I come back. So let me get into some of these questions before I get too deep, because I don't have Fabiola to kick me, and I'll go on and on and on. Guys, I'll just start talking forever. Let's see. George says, let's see, back in the early days of internet, I bought a serial cable to hook my, yeah, I remember that, hooking up computer to serial cable. What was this, a Qualcomm? Yeah, an 820 at 19.6 baud wireless. Yes. If Elon developed the phone, he could probably do better. Yeah, I think so. Um, I was running a bulletin board, a BBS with 300 baud modems, and then upgraded them to 1200 baud modems, and finally they went to 20, what was it, 2600 baud, 2400 baud, and then we did have some 19.2s that came in at the very end, 28.8s also. But yeah, those were that was back in the days, and I think it was like 10 phone lines coming in, nine or 10 phone lines coming in to the bulletin board, to the BBS. But yeah, that's how we started it. So yeah, I remember those days. I remember that. Shannon with 10 free memberships. I'm probably like a half an hour bump because I kept on talking. Thank you, Shannon. Listen, guys, if you got a free membership from Shannon, please say thank you. Jason H, Tom, Michael, who is this? Werchard, I guess, or Werchard, I guess, 21. Newport, I can't see very well in here. I'm using a laptop, it's this big. Newport, Marina. Who else? Tim, James, German Blanco. German Blanco. Okay, it's the white German. David. If you got also E1, or I guess it'd be Elliot. If you got a free membership, please say thank you to Shannon. I really, really do appreciate that. That would be awesome. Thank you, Shannon, for that. Thank you for all that you do. Let me see. Let me see. Memorable Places says, are you using Starlink Mini, or are you using the cruise ships potential expect? Yeah, yeah, we're using the cruise ships. $600 for the most shites Starlink connection ever. With one, we're currently getting, what are we getting? We're getting 1.2 megabits up. We're throttled at 1 megabit. I don't even know why they're even giving me. Oh, it's back. See, it's down to 1 megabit now. So it's just that, yeah, we're using the cruise line. We're not using the mini. The mini would have gotten confiscated most likely. So we're not using it. Let's see. Do 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 do. Moving on. Once again, thank you so much, Shannon. Really appreciate that. And Richard. Richard says, welcome, premium sub. Thank you so much, Richard, for that. Being with us here as a premium member. I really appreciate it. There's so many people, so much love in this community. It's just really, really, really good. Really good. Mo, what does Mo has to say here? It says, mention, hey, hi. If Fab, yes, I will, because Fab did say hi before she conked out for the night, or I guess it's morning. It's morning over here now. Let's see. Do Shannon bombs are always a winner, winner, winner. Chicken dinner, absolutely. Shannon's the man. Let's see what else we got down here. Moving down, I see a bunch of kicks from Mo. Thank you. I appreciate those kicks, Mo. Um, GSD Rules says it's the cruise line. I've had good internet on another line. Yeah, it's probably the cruise line. This place is um, I don't want to get deep into deep in the thick of it until I get back. But the bottom line here is they are just they're thieves. I don't know how else to say it nicely. They're thieves. Everything that they do is literally like grand theft. Um, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to go through an entire litany once I get back, but it's just like every single thing. It's like we screw you here, we screw you there, we screw you here. We've already screwed you cruises. I haven't had that problem before. Maybe, but we haven't cruised since COVID. So, maybe things changed during COVID and now they're just trying to recoup and just squeeze every freaking dime out of people. I mean, maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see what else we say. What else here? Let's see. GSD rule says, did the cruise line cite a range of connectivity? No, they didn't. They did not. They just said it's the ultra super highfalutin, our top tier for $600. That's it. They didn't, and they said your miles may vary. Basically, if there's a lot of people on, you're going to get slower speeds. But it would never, they would never would tell you what the speeds are. Never. So yeah, bear that in mind. There's no upfront communication of what to be expected. Like what is the expectations for the ultra package? There isn't any. Absolutely none. Kind of sad. Complain your way out. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it because at this point, when you get something ultra and you have something that's throttled at 1 meg, um, that could definitely be something that we can work on. And I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know how it goes because I might. It's just a lot of money for nothing. A lot of money for nothing. This is something that they should just give for free. 1 megabit. That's like nothing. Let's see. We've been on 6 cruises. This is from Mick. Let's see. We quit cruising because of how they constantly try to nickel and dime you on everything. So you're experiencing that too on 6 cruises. So maybe it is something systemic now. Maybe this is something that is going on with all cruise lines, and I just don't know about it because, like I said, we haven't cruised since the pandemic. So maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. Do. Captain is live. Is in the live. That'd be nice. That would be perfect because then I'll get into it really detailed. They wouldn't want to hear it. Trust me, they wouldn't want to hear it. Let's see. You have no idea. A communist cruise won't let you on board until kind of. I get it. Um, yeah, yeah. George says I had a business trip to Switzerland. Brought back several rolls of film. Showed my album to my obviously packed. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on where you go. That's it. I'm guessing. Let's see. Before I go into any more questions, if you have any questions, once again, at JCristina, throw them in there, at JCristina. We talked about already the debris, the trash that people were finding on the coast of Mexico, where the Mexican government now wants to sue Elon Musk for all of the trash and the debris that's floating up on their shore after the SpaceX Starship blew up, right? I think it's comical because a lot of you guys have indicated to me that, you know, they want to sue for this debris that's on the coast, but yet for decades they've been offloading raw sewage into the ocean that floats straight into California and forces them to shut down beaches because of raw sewage. So I think this would be a perfect time for the California government to sue Mexico for damages for having to shut down their beaches. I think that'd be great. So if the Mexican government sues Elon, no problem. I would say California should sue Mexico for launching all that raw sewer into California, basically. Let's see. We also talked about the Golden Dome, which is really quite cool, and the T-Mobile data is now available. So T-Mobile not only has the beta going on, where and I've tested it out with AT&T when I had AT&T. Now I have T-Mobile, so I have their proper plan, whatever it is. So no matter where I go, if there's no internet at all, I have a little satellite that pops up on my phone and I can text. Well, as of now, I guess it'd be, I think it was 27th or something. Let's say as of now or soon, you'll be able to also not only do SMS, but you'll also be able to do MMS. And if you don't know the difference, SMS is like those text messages that you send out, whereas MMS not only, does text messages, but it also does like audio clips. It also allows you to send photos. So it's data. Okay, small amounts of data, but it's still data. And they are now pushing that out through T-Mobile. So that's really big. That's really big because what SpaceX said, if you remember, by 2026, so that's like what, like 6 months away now, 5 months away or whatever, we're going to see actual video calls done with the SpaceX Starlink DTC or direct to cell satellites. So in comparison to having to like when that's literally being on the top of a mountain somewhere with no cell service at all. If you guys don't know, DTC, that direct to cell service, basically is Elon Musk, SpaceX, Starlinks. What they'll do is they'll take the Starlink and they will retrofit it with an eNode B. An eNode B is basically the equivalent to a modem that you would stuff on like a cell tower down the road from you. So what it does is it converts the satellite. It's a little bit different than a SpaceX Starlink satellite, but it's a little bit bigger. But it converts that satellite into a cell tower that's sitting at like 320 kilometers in space. Okay, so people always are like, Joe, how is it even possible that we can, text through a satellite that's sitting at 320 kilometers where the damn cell tower up the road, I get just shit signal and I can't even text sometimes, right? It's just the way it works, guys. It's the way it works. They're very powerful up there. They can literally they not only are they sending really powerfully, but they're listening very very with big ears, okay? They can hear like a ant fart. Okay, that's just how it is. And then they use the eNode Bs, those modems, to convert the signal. So now T-Mobile has their T satellite or whatever you want to call it, where now you not only have SMS but you also get MMS. So that's pretty cool. That is definitely cool. So they're moving on. They're also doing a thing whereas if you do not have T-Mobile and you want that SpaceX Starlink service and you don't want to use the shit service that you get with Apple, right, which is through Global Star, but you want to use the good service through Elon Musk, SpaceX, Starlink, you can do it. Even though you're on Verizon or you're on AT&T or something, you can do it, and it only is going to cost like $10 extra or something. And I think that goes straight to T-Mobile. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it's like $10, and that's it. So that's pretty neat, in my personal opinion. I think that's pretty damn cool. Let me see. Any other questions? At JCristina, put those questions in there. Um, we are at 1 o'clock in the morning over here, so we're going to get off like in the not so distant future. We're going to get off, but I'm going to stay with you for a little bit longer. If you have any questions, stick them in there, and we will get to them. Let's see. Michael says, I have not time to watch right now. That's all right. No problem. Watch the rerun. If you have any questions in the comments, put them down there instead of in the chat, and I'll get to them. And if not, one of the great members of the channel will answer your questions, Michael. Let's see. Do. I don't hear any flushing. That's kind of nice. Usually there's like banging on the walls, or the people next door are flushing, and instead of being a regular toilet, it's those suction toilets. They're so damn loud. It's like, holy hell. I'm trying to record sometimes in this room, and it's like literally I'm fighting. I'm fighting. Let's see. I took them at 3 to 5 a.m. Oh, that's from George. We thought that this is from Mitch, that we thought the most entertaining part of the cruise was sitting in front of the concierge deck. Yeah, at the desk, we had to do the desk. Matter of fact, the first day, because they screwed up, and the line we were in line for like an hour and a half. Anyways, on the last day of the cruise, and watch people's reactions to their bill. True. Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Because what ends up happening is you have your little card, and you're like swiping for this, swiping for that. If you don't get a Coke package, Cokes are like, I don't know, I think it's like $150 for Cokes. Then you have to pay for every Coke. If you don't get like this package, or if you don't get that package, or this, yeah, yeah, it's a bill. It's definitely a bill by the end. Mo says when Mexico becomes part of the North American Union, they will just have to suffer for it. Yeah, ironically, yeah, that would be interesting. Then it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Michael says you can't watch right now. That's no problem. Hope you're having this from William. Hope you're having a blast. Let's see, Sands. Yes, the the Starlink fee, which is crazy. I know, like 500-600 bucks for Starlink, 1 megabit up. Watch you guys a lot. Enjoy the input. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, William. Thank you for being here. Let's see. After your Starlink videos, I tried it. Now I have Starlink in 3 buildings. That's really good. That's from William Convey. Now, I am it makes me very happy when I get stories like that people are watching my nonsense and getting some value from it. I have like, I think it's like 510, 500 and some videos on SpaceX Starlink, all those helpful how to's, tips, tricks, and all the rest of the stuff that I do. So it's good. It's really good. It makes me feel good that at least, the work that I'm putting into this, people are actually, getting something out of it. And seeing that you started with SpaceX Starlink and now you have 3 of them, that means that obviously what I've said has helped you out, and that makes me feel really good. That's why I do what I do. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. I love to hear it. Let's see. Moving on. GSD Rules says, have you tested DTC while on your trip? So I have not tested the DTC on the trip, and the reason being is everywhere that I've been on the islands have had just really good speed. Using like T-Mobile. I've been like in Athens, T-Mobile's working. I've been to, where else we go? Santorini, T-Mobile was fine. Rome, T-Mobile was fine. So it's like we haven't had a dead zone where I can say, oh, I can use it. But I've had some near me, in Florida. Like you go the back roads through like the Everglades into the back, and you'll end up in some dead zones where you're in between towers or whatnot, and then it'll pick up. Also during the hurricanes, we had a dead zone at my house because the hurricane knocked the power out of one of our main satellite our main cell towers, and that tower was dead for like freaking like 2 days or 3 days. So, and we were able to text each other. Fab sitting right next to me using SpaceX Starlink, so that was really fun, and it just proves how it works and how well it works. It's kind of crazy. Let's see. Mo says, yeah, I knew about the Golden Dome plans before Trump coming into office in 2017. It was generalized plan, yes, through the Star Wars satellite. Yeah, that was how it gave the China, yeah, to produce. So the whole Star Wars thing was with the Reagan deal, right? Way back in the 80s, and they never really did anything with it. So I'm glad they're doing something with it this time because we're going to need it. We don't need it like this second, but the build out of 10 to 16, 10,000 to 16,000 satellites, interceptor satellites, plus the bodyguard satellites that they need to build out, it's gonna take a few years, and anywhere from 500 billion to about $1 trillion. But you know, how much does your safety, how much do you want to spend on your safety? I would rather spend money on our safety in this country than take the money that is being injected into the country through taxes and then send it away to other countries to help them. It's help us first and then help other people. I have no problem helping other people. It's kind of like when you're on a plane, and the woman comes on. She said, if in case of emergency and there's a loss of cabin pressure, a a mask is going to drop down. Don't worry about it. It might not inflate, but the oxygen's still running. Put it over your mouth, over your nose first, and then take your neighbors and put it over theirs if they can't do so. Basically, it's the same thing holds true with the U.S. or anywhere. Put that over your nose and make sure you're okay first, and then help everyone else. Right? Because if you don't put that over your nose and you're passed out, you're out, you can't help anyone, right? You can't help anyone. So that's just the way I look at it. That's, not everyone looks at it like that. A lot of people, they just want to send billions away continuously because I don't know, because that's just what they want to do. I just, for me, it's like the money that we inject into our government should stay here in the US, period, until we don't need it anymore, and then we can send it elsewhere. And I think that that should hold true everywhere. Like I just heard just tonight that Canada is going to do some crazy ass shit now, that they're going to charge some type of crazy technology tax on all technology coming in from the U.S. And I think Trump just said, "Yeah, that's no problem. We're not going to trade with you anyways. We're done with you. We're not going to trade with you anymore. That's it. It's over." So they push and they push and they push, and then all of a sudden they get slapped, and then and then eventually they're going to see that they need us more than we need them, and at that point they're going to change their mind. But this is the kind of stuff that happens. You can't, we can't constantly take and take and take and take it and never dish it back out. There's a problem. Or vice versa, we can't constantly give money out and never do for ourselves. So we'll see what ends up happening. There's been so much strife in the world over the last couple of years. It's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So I mean, like I was telling you guys when we were when we were in Rome. I mean, there's like protests, and you had the Palestinian people with like smoke and fireworks that sounded like AK-47s. Like what are you doing? Like what are you doing? This is what's going on, and they have like cops everywhere, and there was cops in helicopters flying overhead, and we're at the freaking Coliseum, people. We're at the Coliseum. What the frick are you doing? Right? I mean, it's just stupid. It's stupid. But anyway, so this is the kind of stuff that we've been seeing. And it's like everywhere we go, everywhere we go. So, anyways, my 2 cents. My 2 cents. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt because, what I think is not what you guys think. And maybe some of you, not everyone. But that's okay. Free Speech Friday, right, guys? Free Speech Friday. Whatever you want to put in here, right in there now. I'm going to be on for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to get out. I've been on for over an hour. I can't even believe it. And the internet connection's still going with, let me see, 1.17 megabits upload speed. 1.17. Good job. But it hasn't dumped yet, so that's all right. We're okay with that. Let's see. GSD rule says, oh, we went through that. We got that one already. Connected to SpaceX Starlink DTC. This is from Mick. Last week at Land Between the Lakes, and for the first time, I actually got 2 bars instead of just one. So it must be yeah. So I always get 2 bars. So every time I connect to SpaceX Starlink and it shows that little satellite dish instead of a tower type of thing, it I always get two bars. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on where you are and where you're connecting from. Bear in mind, there's about 200 DTC satellites currently up there, and there's 7,600 SpaceX Starlink satellites, right? So there's not that many DTC. There's probably more DTCs as of now, but the last time I checked, there's only a few hundred that were on orbit. Maybe there's like 300 now or something. I don't know. I have to look that up. But either way, it's a small amount compared to the 7,600 of the regular satellites that are up there. But as they become, more, there's just a lot more out there. It's going to be better. The service is going to get better and better and better. Let's see. Moving down. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina before the question. Make it easy. Make it easy to find. Let's see. George says, "Yep, it was midnight summer. Yeah, when I was there. Cool snap. Yeah, in the old city, 16 from the 16th century. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I love the architecture. I love everything that we can see. It's really quite neat. Really quite neat to see. Let me see. Mick says Elon Musk. We live this afternoon speaking from. Oh, okay. Speaking from Neuralink about the future project. It was fascinating. Yeah. So, yeah, Elon was. They're doing some crazy stuff over there at Neuralink. That whole project, I think, is amazing because they're gonna make like the blind see and the people that can't walk and just you know there's like ALS there's like patients that can't communicate anymore because they can't move any of their limbs. It's very difficult for them. And now just with their brain signal, just looking at they can play video games, they can literally communicate now that they couldn't do before. So I mean, this is really big. It's in its infancy right now. What they're going to be able to do with it, you're basically creating bionic people, right? Can you just imagine someone that has no sight all of a sudden has at least a little bit of sight from pure darkness? I can't even imagine. Or someone that's been in a wheelchair for a decade and now has the ability to stand and start rebuilding some of the muscles from the atrophy of not being able to walk for so long. So there's a lot going on with that, and yeah, I think that's a really big project for Elon. Obviously, Elon's the guy that wants to get to Mars, but you know, giving people their lives back in this type of method using this Neuralink stuff is quite an amazing feat for sure. For sure. Let's see. Life and Death. How are you doing tonight? How are you doing? Thanks for being here. I see Kurt is here just above Life and Death. What did Kurt say? Kurt says, looks great. Man, sounds better than normal too, really. Yeah, guys, this is what I'm using. This is what we're using. So instead of using, our normal like a Sennheiser 416 that I use as a shotgun mic, so it's like really far away pointing at me. This is like really close. So they're usually, you're going to get that proximity effect, so you'll probably get a little bit deeper sound out of these because they're closer, which isn't bad. I mean, I like it. It's cool, and I'm glad you like the sound of it. That's good. That's good. Let me see. Life and Death. Thank you for being here. It says, ever ask what the USAF, the United States Air Force, does with the XB-67 so secretly? Yeah, I would like to know. What exactly do they do? What do they do? Life and Death. What do they do? There's some crazy stuff going on, and maybe Mo could clue us in to some of that. There is a lot of craziness going on. There are um, we were talking about it this evening. We were driving through Florida in this like back road, and Fab. It was Fabiola in the passenger seat. I was driving, and my son was in the back. And it was dark out, and all of a sudden, like overhead from my side, right above us came not more than maybe, I want to say, 200 feet in the air, maybe 300. I don't even think 300. I would say it was pretty low, maybe 200 feet in the air. This triangle, it looked like this triangle shaped thing came by, and it was silent. It didn't make any noise. There was like three, I don't know, these three, I guess, propulsion things. I don't know, but they didn't make any noise. There was like no noise. It was like getting dark. It was not pure dark yet. It was probably like sunset, so I could still see it, but it was not bright, right? And it literally looked like a triangle. It looked like a Dorito. It was a flying frickin' Dorito with like a propulsion something in each one of the three corners. I'm like, and I was thinking, I'm like, ah, yeah, maybe it was a drone, baby. I'm like, at that height and the size of that thing, it can't be a drone. The damn thing was like the size of like, I don't know, like three cars or bigger. It was like the size of the room. Like, it was big. It was like freaking big at that height. So what the hell it was, I don't know. But it wasn't a drone. I don't know what it is. But there's definitely some crazy shit that goes on. And we live very close to Pratt and Whitney. Pratt and Whitney is another one of these places that do a lot of like secret crap, and they have things that fly around that place that they defy gravity, sound, every it just create. I used to stunt, right? So a motorcycle, I had an R1, and we would go to shows, and we would like kind of do demos and stuff, and we would go back there to this little tiny airport where Pratt Whitney used to use this airport, and we would go and practice, and the things that we saw, guys, just crazy. I don't even know what some of these things were. I really don't know. But anyways, not to get into the whole conspiracy theories and UFOs and all the rest of the stuff, but I could tell you there's been some stuff that we've seen that I don't even know what the heck it is. I don't even know what the heck it is. Anyways, according to this, we're still transmitting at 1.2 kilobits per second. 1.2 kilobits is what we're currently transmitting at. 1.2 kilobits. Awesome. Loving that. Loving it. Let's see. Moving on. Moving on. Here we go. Mick says sounds of explosions have been happening all across the southeast. I wonder what that is. One of our outdoor cameras caught one of the explosions sounds here in Nashville. Really, I wonder what the explosions are. Are they supersonic? Usually, when you're hearing an explosion, we have a lot of air and sea shows that are near us that pop up on the coast, and when they zip by in some of these fighters, I mean, they pop, and it's like just crackle the air as they break the sound barrier. It's just really kind of cool. George says my past girlfriend was a nurse and had an emergency room accident. She became bionic and could walk and talk after they reconnected her brain to her body. I think she was the first. What the frick, George? Really? Is that even a thing? Reconnecting a brain? Huh. So did she have a did her spinal cord get severed like see through like something really high up here? Is that what ended up happening? That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, some of the stuff that they do is just absolutely nuts. Let me see. George said she lived on for 5 years. Huh. Of independence. That's crazy. That's cool. That's good to see. That's for sure. Well, listen, guys. Listen, guys. It is now like past the like it's almost like 1:30 in the morning over here. I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna do more coverage from the islands and then from Sicily and Italy over the next course of like a week, and then we'll be back in states. And at that point, we'll be able to just really pump out coverage as much as possible to kind of catch up. I just want to say thank you to everybody. There's just so many great people in this community that really kind of hold the channel together. Even now when I'm gone, which I really do appreciate it. It does help a lot. Thank you so much for all those super chats. Thank you for all you guys do. And I will see you in the next one, most likely on Monday. I should have another piece for you. But if you have any kind of questions or anything, head over to my website, JCristina.com. You can go into comments and just write to me if there's something that you want to kind of communicate about. I'm checking it as much as I can on the trip. It's kind of hard, once again, with this shites freaking internet. Kind of crazy, not good at all. But like I said, I'm going to do a video specifically on this probably when I get back. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here and hanging out on this Friday. And TGIF, we'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you.